Hey, how's everybody doing today? I know I've done some videos in the past about some patch repair and stuff like that, like just a floor pan patch or this, that, and the other stuff. It's pretty simple. Now, today I just want to do a little video over the rust right here because you got multiple different pieces of panel coming together, and unless you're going to take this whole quarter panel off, replace this whole outside inner fender, rocker panel, and etc., which is going to cost a lot of money, you're going to have to face situations like this, and you almost have to just piece it together. I mean, you got to dig it out, and you got to get in here and cut out the old rust. This front lower part of the rocker, the quarter panel, was rusted, and there's a inside structure right here that goes down and mounts to the top of that rocker panel, and then the small part of the outside of the rocker panel was bad. The inside of this, the lower part of the inside of this inner fender well is bad, and you can see it going all the way up in here. Now, I don't have a lot of, I just have a brake, you know what I mean? I don't have a shrinker and a stretcher and a English wheel to form all this stuff, so if you're not going to replace everything new, which is a lot of money, and you don't have the tools to do stuff like that, you have to be creative, and you have to compromise. And I'm going to show you how to do some of that stuff, and I'm going to piece it all together. It's still going to be structurally strong. It's still going to be just like the manufacturer had it. There's just going to be a little bit more cutting, a little bit more welding. Like for an example, this lower inner fender well, I'm going to take it straight across, and it's got compound radiuses to it because it's got an arch, it's got a curve, plus you got, a basically a J channel. It bends, it comes across, and it bends again to go on the inside of this lip on the quarter panel. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'll make a template and cut this out straight across, make a template right here, and weld that lower part. Now, let me zoom in a little bit for you. And just weld this flat piece in, okay? And then I'll make another, and it looks like it's about 1.5 inches lip right here, flat lip. It comes down, it's got the radius, it goes all the way down to here. And I will weld that in to the edge of the inside part here. And then the third piece I will make will be a flat piece. And it's just going to be actually this lip that goes to the inside of the quarter panel. There's a lot of welding there because you're going to have to weld along the seam on this side, along the seam on this side. But once you do that, you're pretty much going to mimic the exact same thing. You're just going to have to weld up them seams. Then you can put it in there and weld it all up. And you're really kind of the same thing on this inside structure. You can't see it. There's an inside structure here that comes down and it welds to the top of this rocker panel, or it sits, the rocker panel probably just butts up against it, sits on it. And just to give this door jamb, inside this door jamb, this rocker panel, this quarter panel, some stability. So I'm going to do that. And that's not going to be perfect. I mean, you want to get it close as you can, but it's an inside structure. It's not going to be kind of the same way with this right here. And then after that, it's going to be the same thing over here on the. See if I can move the camera over here without my video and abilities to see the best. And then over here, you're going to have on the outside of this front quarter panel, you're going to have like a S. You're going to have, it's going to bend, and then bend again, and then bend again over here. So that's going to take a little bit more time and work. I might end up, I'm gonna do this right here, and this inside structure, and this rocker panel, this bottom piece of this rocker panel is just a flat piece. I can weld that in. But I might, since these front sections of these quarter panels are pretty cheap, like 30, 35 bucks, I might just go ahead and talk to customer and just to get that, and then I can come up here a little ways and cut it and just fit it in there and spot weld along the door jamb and everything. So, but there's gonna be a lot of work involved, and I'll leave the video running and I'll edit the video. I'll like maybe pause it or whatever during some of the boring stuff. But when you're doing stuff like this, you really have to think about what you're doing. I've been sitting there staring at this for an hour trying to figure out how I really want to approach it. That's probably the best way. Like I said, if you don't have the tools to make all these special bends and special curves out of one piece, then you're just going to have to kind of piece it together. Like I said, you're going to have to do this flat piece here, you're going to do a flat piece here, weld along the seam, and then the same here. You know, make a little curve, half inch, 3/4 inch piece, weld it along that, grind it down, clean it up, and it'll be structurally strong. It'll be one piece. Basically, after you get through welding it, then you can put it in there and weld it in like you want it. And same with this structural piece. It's not going to be too bad. So we'll get busy. We'll start cutting this out, and we'll see how it goes. I know I do a lot of videos on patch panel rust repair and stuff like that, but it's kind of something that it's got to be done, and sometimes it's easy to do. You just got a piece of panel, flat panel, you can put on there and weld it in. And sometimes you really got to get in here and do some structural stuff and use a little creativity and use some of your fabrication skills and welding skills, and try to make something out of a rusty mess on a budget. So that's what we're doing. We're doing it on a budget. I mean, if I was to buy all new panels, you're talking $400 for a quarter panel. This inner fender well, to replace that whole thing, I think I've seen them for 50 or 60 bucks. A whole rocker panel is close to $100, and not counting all the time that you're going to have drilling out all these spot welds, pulling this stuff off and redoing it. You're going to have days in it. This right here, you could probably, if you plan it out good and you know what you're going to do once you go into it, it'll probably take me all day to do this, but it'll be just as good when it's done. And in fact, I'm not going to video all of it. I mean, I kind of explained to you how I'm going to do it. I showed you how to use template, how to make a template out of paper or cardboard. That's what I'll do in here. I'll cut this out and I'll make that template, transfer it onto the steel, make sure it fits, and then cut this curved front piece here, the side piece, weld them all together. I'll get it welded in, and then I'll go over here and I'll work on this inner structural piece, which is not that big of a deal. In fact, let me show you. This is basically the pieces that I've got to make. Now, this is that inner structural piece. See, it's just flat. This right here is flat, and then you just got this edge here that actually goes along the front. It goes like this. Sits in there just like that. So you got this flat piece here that welds down to the bottom of the on top of the rocker panel. And then you got this facial part here, which faces outside, sets up against the inside of that front quarter panel. And this is just the front part that nothing really sets on it. I think it's just, it goes up and all the way inside there, and it welds into the inside of the part of that structural. So that's not going to be too bad. Probably make that in one piece. I'll just bend this. I got a bend here, and I just got this 90-degree bend here on the bottom for the that sits on top of the rocker panel. That one's going to be pretty easy. You just weld it in. Right here's the bottom piece of the rocker panel. And here's the little lip it comes around to the inside of the. Pretty easy, straightforward, just pretty flat, nothing to it. 190-degree bend, pretty easy. This is the lower part of the front quarter panel. Now the only difference on this is it's got a little offset. You can see it. It just steps down just a smidgen, maybe 1/8 of an inch. It's just a body line. And that shouldn't be too bad. And then I can just a 90-degree bend that goes around the front, around this lip of the quarter panel. Now this does, see, I cut this like this. This is all rusted out. And this part right here kind of rolls around the front here. Like so. Like on these door jambs, it's, like I said, it's a little S of just one of these in the front. So to reconstruct that, it's going to be a little tricky. That's why I might talk the customer into just buying one of these. That'd be a lot easier. But as far as the inner part, I haven't got this cut out yet to really kind of show you, but you know, then it all started by a hole created right here on the inside of this, and then as you're going to drive and stuff, and I vacuum leaves and dirt and everything outside of the inside of this rocker panel. And that stuff gets moisture in there and it sets up and it just rots it from the inside out. So that's what we'll do. And like I said, I can't make a video, an all-day video, so this is going to take time. So I'll just go ahead and cut this video off. I'll explain to you what I'm going to do, and just kind of giving you some tips to take your time, use templates, plan it out how you want to do it according to what tools you have. Like I said, all I have is a brake. I don't have special bending tools. I don't have English wheels to make a curve plus a 90-degree, you know, like the shrinker and stretchers. I don't have bead rollers, all that stuff. So I have to make it with what I got. And 90% of the people out there, you guys are doing this stuff in your garage and you're working on your cars, it's the same way. You don't have a lot of stuff. But you want your car rust free, you want it fixed. So that's what all these videos are about. That's why I've been doing this for years. And I've got a lot of time in it. And I'm trying to, you know, all these guys is out there and they don't have a lot of experience in it and want to get their stuff fixed and can't take it to a body shop, don't have the money for a bunch of extra tools. All you got is a welder and a bender, and, you know, brake. And not a whole lot of fabrication skills, so I'm just trying to help you guys out. So I'll cut the video off, and at the end of the day, when I get this all done, I'll make another video of what I did. If I ran into anything, explain to you that, you know, if I ran into any problems, how I solved it, and what I did. That way, you know, if you guys run into anything like that, you will have a general idea of kind of how to approach it and take care of it. I pretty much got all the rust on this. Then I got one little spot in the trunk, right in the middle of the trunk, about like that, I need to fix. But on the inside of this quarter panel, this trunk extension that comes out in here, I fixed all that last weekend. And I still got a little bit of work to do that. I got to finish doing a few spot welds and put some rust encapsulator on it and undercoat it and all that. But the undercoating, I'll probably wait till I just get all the rust done on the whole thing, all of it cleaned up. I got like I said, all the inside of the trunk done, that one little spot, and I put some undercoating all inside the trunk. But anyway, that's enough for this video. I'm gonna get to work. Like I said, at the end of the day, and this is all done, I'll do another short video, just give you a walk around so you can see. This is before. You can see the rust, you can see the mess. Get this camera quit shaking around. You know, the rocker panel, front quarter panel, this inside fender well. We'll get all that fixed. And when I get it all welded up, cleaned up, you'll never be able to tell. So look for the next video, because it'll be all done. I'll do a little video and show you what it looks like, and that way you guys can kind of get an idea. And if you take your time, you'll see what you started with, and you can see what you end up with. If you take your time, plan your time, do your welding right, don't warp it when you're, you know, don't put too much heat to the outside of this, you know, and create a dip and warp your panel. It'll look nice and clean. Talk to you later.